Episode of Biz Mindz, and we're here with Anthony Tumbarello.
Yep.
Anthony, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate being on here. Thank you.
Of course, man. Anthony is the owner of CTP, which is Coach Tumbarello Performance.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about how long you guys been in business, and then we can just go from there.
Yeah, so we opened in September of 2020. We just celebrated our third year this past month, and
Congrats.
we've thank you, and we've extended another 3 years, so we'll be in that same building for another 3 years.
Nice, man. And are you originally from the Southwest Florida area?
I went to high school here. I was born in New York and lived in Jersey, and then my whole family moved down here and went to high school at Gulf Coast High School, went to St. John Newman, so I'd consider myself a local.
Were you always thinking about going into this industry, or take us a little bit from like the time you graduated high school?
Yeah. So I went and played college football. I played at Iona College. Things didn't work out there. So then I, tried doing like semi-pro and had some tryouts in the UFL and different things, and just injuries and just didn't happen my way. So when I came back here, I kind of just didn't know what I wanted to do. My dad's like, "You're into fitness. Why don't you go work at the gym?" So my first job was LA Fitness. That's how I started, right on Vanderbilt. Yep, I helped open that gym. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep. That was my first one. I started at as a front desk.
Really?
Yeah, I started at the front desk. Yep.
And how does that, like, that awareness of trying to go into like professional football?
Yeah.
Did you feel trying to pursue that this might not be working out for me, or my chances are getting slimmer?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I was playing, you kind of look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, all right, I gave it everything I had. I wasn't able to reach the goal that I wanted to reach, but I mean, that doesn't mean it's over. So then I was like, okay, well, what do I do now? How do I go about life? What do I want to do as a career and stuff like that? It was tough, like the first year. I think every athlete, when they're done, they kind of just have like that year of like, okay, all I've known is this, and it completely has to stop. But then, you got to choose a path and go with it at that point. You can't just sit there and feel sorry for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you were at LA Fitness, how long until you transitioned? Kind of take us through the path from LA Fitness to opening up your own place.
Yeah. So I was in LA Fitness. I started in 2011. Back when there was no Instagram for personal training.
Yeah.
So we would make $6 every 30 minutes for a client. So we'd make $12 an hour at LA Fitness. That's what we started with in 2011, 2012. And then obviously as the times were going and Instagram came out, LA raised their prices. So we were making a little bit more. But yeah, I did that for 4 years, and I learned a lot as far as training goes, and just training, every walks of life of people and stuff. And then towards the end, I was like capped out really at what I was at. I was the second highest grossing trainer in the whole company. So I was like, at this point, I'm capped. Like, there's nothing else I'll be able to do. And then I wanted to pursue athletes. So I decided that was the route I was going to go. So I did that for 4 years, and then took an internship with someone that trained me when I was playing, and just kind of showed me the ropes. And first 2 years of just learning and figuring out how to train athletes and kind of figure out like how to program and how to do different things and how to be successful in the business. And it just went from there.
Was that in that internship? It wasn't paid, or what?
No, I actually had to pay to be there. So because I had a couple of my clients. So I was like, hey, like I have a couple of my clients. If I can use your gym, I will give you 30% of my income that we have. And in return, help me learn how to, the way, at least the intro ways of how to be a sports performance coach. So it worked out.
Bro, I love that. Especially because I feel like everybody's always looking at the next dollar.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Instead of sometimes just putting in the work.
Yeah.
And then the money, the skills you gain, that's what the value you're going to bring to the table.
Yeah, for sure. And then for me, it was almost like this is what I need to learn. I don't know how to do it, but I want to do it. Like, obviously I'm not good enough to get paid to do it. So I have to give up in order to reach that goal.
Right.
Yeah.
And how long were you doing that internship for?
So I did that from 2016 to 2017. And then in 2018, I applied for a job in Tampa to be a sports performance coach. And I got the job, and they hired me on, and I started that in January. So it was from January until I was there until August of 2018.
And you guys opened in Bonita in 2020.
Yeah, 2020. So Tampa was rough.
COVID days.
Yeah.
Tough time to open, right?
Tampa was rough in 2018. I was promised salaries and I was promised to get certain things, and it didn't happen. I actually ended up going broke being there because I took a huge, massive pay cut. Me and the owner of the company just weren't getting along towards the end, and I actually walked away.
Wow.
So yeah, I walked away. Craziness.
You were there 2 years, right?
I was there for 8 months.
For 8 months?
Yeah, I was there for 8 months, and then I ended up going broke there. I ended up losing the apartment that I was at. I ended up like sleeping on someone's couch for a little bit and trying to figure out what my next move was going to be. And so in November of 2018, I drove back here. I still have a picture with $67 in my pocket.
Dang.
Yeah, that was it. And I was like $30,000 in credit card debt because I wasn't making enough money. I was in the red every month.
Wow.
So yeah. So
would you say it was hard with your partner because of you, or because of him, or because it's just tough to be in business with the partner?
It wasn't so I was an employee of his. Okay. So I was promised a certain salary. I was promised certain things, and the company actually ended up getting bought out while we were there. And so all the things, when it came renegotiating time, it was almost like, that was my first experience training NFL athletes and NFL Combine and MLB, and I'm working like, I'm there at 5 a.m. I'm not leaving till 8 at night. I was working like crazy, thinking I'm going to make a certain amount of money, and then I wasn't.
Okay.
When we go to renegotiate in May, they said I was worth $750 a month. Oh. And I was like, well, I can't survive off that. So I was like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was insane. Like the value that I provided, like I just helped get guys drafted. I had my own group of guys. I helped with all this stuff, like putting in 60, 70 hours a week. And I was told, okay, well, you're worth $750. I was like, all right. Wow. I'm out. Straight up. That was it. I was like, I think after that I like lasted a week, and I was like, yeah, I'm out. I'd rather go broke on my own than get told I'm worth $750 an hour.
Right.
Did you have to work on something different?
So I took actually one of the clients that I was training, I did a marketing internship. So he was with the VR marketing group. Mm-hmm. And so I took it, he said, come in, take a paid internship with him. Because I was helping out, it was a new company. I was making $1,000 a month, so that was it there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't mind me doing that.
I
feel like I was like this with trying to. But so when you made the move to Tampa,
mm-hmm.
How quick did you realize like, shit, this was a bad move?
So in the moment, I thought of it as a bad move. Now I think of it as probably the best thing I needed in my life.
Right, but in the moment, maybe like what, a week into?
I think it was like 3 months in, because the place that I was renting, the things that were transpiring there and the things that were going on there, I was like, I'm gonna be in the red. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Like I took a massive pay cut to come here, and then I took an even bigger pay cut to come here because I lost all my clients that I had here, and I just took the jump and did it. And getting told you're going to get paid one thing, and then a company buyout, and then the other guy's telling you you're worth this, and working the amount of hours that I was working, it was like within 2 months, 3 months.
When did the idea to open up your own place come about? Do you remember still like where you were at, who you spoke with?
So right when I was leaving LA Fitness, my original plan was to open up my own gym. I made a business plan. It was going to be called The Grind Fitness, and I was going to look at a place, and I was looking to take on investors and stuff, and we were almost there. We almost had all the money, and 2 of the investors pulled out at the last minute, and that was it.
Dang.
Yeah, so that was like 2016, and it taught me a lot of how to business plan. It taught me a lot of how to like do like analysis on, my competitors and different things like that I didn't know before, because I wrote the whole business plan myself. So I just, it helped me learn, and actually that failure brought me to 2020 when I was able to figure it out on my own.
Was investors like real investors, or it was like family and friends?
No, it was real investors. It was real. Yeah, I was taking real investor meetings because of the success that I had at LA Fitness and the clientele base that I had. And at the time, like where we were at, Naples didn't have a gym on every corner at that time. So it was almost like okay, well, there's not that many places I can offer something different because of my energy and my workouts and what I bring to the table. But just at the last minute, they just pulled out.
Dang.
Yep.
And what about, so 2020 you guys opened. Was the idea always to do fitness and is it the therapy that your brother?
Yeah. So when we opened, my only plan was to have a sports performance gym and personal training studio. That was the idea and the goal when I opened. As my brother was getting done and going through school to be a physical therapy and going through his master's to be a doctor of physical therapy, we talked about like, hey, would you want an office here and this and that? And he was always wrapped up in school, but once it was getting down towards the end, his last year, he's like, yeah, this is what I want to do, and I want to come work, at CTP. And I was like, done. So we built him an office in like 2 months, and right as he graduated, he walked right into our physical therapy office, and it has been absolutely amazing. Yeah, like the stuff that he does, and like and not only that, from a business side, just all the new amounts of clientele that he's been able to bring in and everything that he's been able to do and the value that he provides to our clients has just been unmatched.
How is it working with your brother?
It's fantastic. I love it. It's so cool. Like, obviously you're always close to family and you talk to family all the time, but this is like, I see you every day.
That's next level communication.
Yeah, that's next level type stuff. And him and I always got along, and him and I have always kind of been close. So it's awesome to be around.
Younger brother?
Yeah, younger. So I have 2 little brothers and a little sister. He's the second youngest brother.
Okay. Nice, man. And what are some things that you've learned along the way? Because this is your first business, right?
This is my second business.
This is your second business.
Yeah. So before I was training, I opened up a sneaker business.
Okay.
So I did like sneaker conventions. They were called Soul Fest. And I would do them all around the state of Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was a fun business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some things that you've learned like along the way with
Oh man. First one is patience. And then I think the second one would be live in the moment now. Like, plan for the future, but enjoy what's going on now, and make sure you're present in the now and not always thinking, down the road. Those are some of the things that I've learned,
right,
that have helped me personally.
How much of
like, what's the next goal? You mean, right? Like,
yeah. So I'm always thinking, expanding, changing this, changing that. What's the next goal? What's the next move? How are we going to get there? How are we going to expand clientele? But then in reality, it's like, okay, well, I opened up the gym. Enjoy it right now. Enjoy it and be there and make sure I'm present for my clients that are in the now, not thinking about how we're going to get future clients, in the future and stuff like that, and kind of just drawing out and changing things. Oh, that was the lightning.
Oh, I was about to say.
Oh yeah,
like,
that thing hit.
why
I saw it.
is it
I
so
saw it reflect.
loud?
I saw it reflect like right through there, and I was like, "Oh, that's gonna be a big one."
I was thinking somebody was breathing really hard.
I didn't know if it was you. I kept looking at you, and then I kept looking here to see which
That
one was.
shows you how good the mics are. If it's catching the thunder
catching the
outside.
thunder. Heck yeah. Grade A setup here.
So are you thinking about? You're always thinking about scaling.
Yeah, always thinking about scaling. I'm always thinking about where we're going to be next. But I'm also now, it used to be that was all I would think about. Like, okay, well, this is where we're at. How do we get to the next goal? How do we get to the next goal? How do we get to the next? Whereas now I'm like, okay, these are the goals that I have. This is the timeline in which I'm going to do it, but I have to enjoy what we're doing right now.
Right.
Which has been very, very huge for me. Right. I think it's helped a lot, and I think it's kept me present and made me enjoy the process more of what we're doing instead of trying to rush to get to the next expansion.
Right. I agree. And is CTP a place for athletes or for everyone?
Everyone. We're a personal training studio. We have adult performance classes. We're a sports performance facility. We have a book by appointment. We're all personal training. Now we've opened the classes. We just opened that this month, and that's been huge for us. But then, our high class athletes and and kids that are trying to make it to the next level, we're the gym for them.
Why go to CTP and not somewhere like, let's say, LA Fitness?
The experience in our coaching and kind of what we bring to the table. Most of the gyms around here, you're going to get your cookie cutter programs, and they haven't put in the work as far as like the science base behind a lot of things, the performance behind a lot of things, how to show correct form and do certain things, rep schemes and stuff. Everything's kind of just copy paste, cookie cutter. What we do is we do individualized programming. So when you come in with us, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get an assessment with Matthew. Matthew's going to go through like a 52-point assessment of what's going on with you. From there, then I'm going to do a physical assessment on you and kind of just a stability assessment, see where you're at there. And then from there, we incorporate the goals that you're looking to accomplish. And not only are we going to help you get to your goals, but we're also going to fix a lot of things because we have the knowledge and the expertise to do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't know you guys did that. And you do that for every single person?
Every single person that comes into our gym. Our adult group classes, it's hard to now because we have, so many people coming in. But if you're going to do a personal training and you're going to get one-on-one training, absolutely. Every single person. We tailor the same, intention to detail in everything we do with our professional athletes and all of our MLB guys and NFL guys that we do with our personal training clients.
Nice, man.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're incorporating the meals.
Yep. Yeah. So now we have nutrition as well. So, we have protein, we have pre-workouts, we have supplements. It's going to strike again. And then we provide nutrition. We also have recovery, cold plunge, infrared sauna. So we have those utilities as well.
Mm-hmm. Damn, nice.
So going back a little to when you opened, you said for one of the businesses you dropped 2 investors, right? You couldn't.
Yeah. Yep.
So when you opened this location, how did you fund it?
I funded it all myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I learned from that mistake. Putting my company and putting my vision and dream in other people's hands that eventually will then have to tell me, which way to steer course. I kind of just said, that's not for me. Yeah. I don't like being told what to do anyway. So I was like, that definitely not in business. Am I going to do that? Yeah. So I funded it all myself. When I got back here in 2000, at the end of 2018, I seeked out guidance from certain people and mentorships, and I did Grant Cardone mentorships. So, Christian Galt, who owns Galt Insurance, he mentored me a lot and kind of put me on a path of, all right, this is how I'm going to make money. This is how I'm going to save money, and then this is the ultimate goal. Okay. So I was able to fully fund the gym myself when we opened.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, everything was paid. We have no debt in our facility, so everything was paid off straight cash, and that was it.
Wow.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how hard it is.
Oh, they don't understand the sacrifice. Like, they don't get it. People don't get it. I mean, I was 29 years old living at home with my dad. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I had to do in order to get to that position, right? Like, I had a Dodge Challenger. I couldn't pay for it anymore, so I had to sell that thing, and I was in a little Hyundai. Like, people don't understand. Like, you got to take some steps back in order to go major steps forward.
Yeah.
What was your first investment? When you first opened?
What do you mean, as far as
startup cost?
equipment, or how much, or?
Yeah.
So for me to open up everything, it was like $120,000. Damn. So that was with floor equipment. That was with just the leasing that I had to do. Mm-hmm. Our floors are $40,000. Like, all of our equipment that we had was close to $50,000. And then you do the incidentals that you don't think of, like paint and epoxy, and then outlets and then supplies and different things that just add up. And so next thing I know, I think when we were all, it was like $120,000.
Damn.
So no. Yeah.
It's crazy because I feel like today on social media and stuff, business trends so much. Like, it's like the new cool thing to do.
Yeah.
But all the stuff that there's so much BS around business.
Oh, it's all anything. I'm at the point with Instagram, 2% of it's actually real.
Yeah, seriously.
98% of it is all clickbait and fake, and they're just trying to get you to buy their product or their program. And I don't. Yeah. Especially there are a few players that I know that are like, okay, you're a real businessman, you understand it, you get it. Then there are a few that are just pretend.
Yeah.
They're pretend businessmen. They make pretend meetings. They do all that stuff, and next thing you know, they're scamming people and stuff. Yeah. It's just nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very easy to talk from a textbook.
Oh yeah, it's from a script. It's easy, but when you actually have to go out and do it, I guarantee you half those people weren't living at their home with their parents and shit while they were doing it.
Right.
Yeah,
from experience, it's completely different, man. And I just feel like business is such a tough thing all the time. Doesn't even matter whether your business is thriving or not.
Yeah.
You're always dealing as a business owner with all the problems.
Dude, yeah.
You know?
I feel like I'm a firefighter, man. I'm putting out fires every single day about something.
Yeah.
And things like you just don't even think about and realize. And everyone's business is different. Everyone's business has their own fires that they have to put out and different things. So, you know, when people are like, "Oh, all business people should do this," I'm like, no, like I already know you're BSing, because my business is going to be way different than yours, and yours is going to be different than his and hers, and vice versa. And it's just not. It's not real.
Yeah. What do you think about in today's day, customer service?
That's the number one deal. That's what really separates us. Is our customer service and our value that we provide to the customer. I'm constantly asking my clients for feedback. I'm constantly asking what we can do to be better. I'm constantly, even my professional athletes, hey, what can we do to be better? The last off season we had this. What could we do to be better next off season? And just going from there. Like if we have an issue, it's taken care of immediately. Thankfully, we haven't had much issues. But everything else is just how much value you provide. And when your clients come in, they're like, wow, I feel valued here. I want to come here. I want to come here more. Yeah. And that's kind of what we've been able to provide.
Are you someone that you find it easy to delegate and communicate?
No. Communicate, yes. Delegate, no. And I'm doing better at it. So, and I think that's, as a business owner, you learn those things as you get going. Like, I'm figuring out, okay, like I can't have my hand in every single bowl. Like I have to separate it, and I have to be able to distribute tasks that have to go to different individuals.
Right.
Especially if you're always thinking about scaling.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And that's my thing. It drives me crazy. Like I don't sleep at night when I think about it. It's great. Yeah, that's it. I'm always like, okay, what are we doing? Or I'm always in the, oh man, we're going backwards. Now I got to read. And I like putting myself against the wall. I'm weird. I like putting my back against the wall and like giving myself these like fake things that are going on around me. So then it just motivates me to just get my task done.
Yeah. You sent me something the other day that I thought was super true. It's like when you're trying to win, urgency is always behind everything you do.
Oh yeah.
When you're trying to win.
Yeah. Because then you win, and then it's like, okay, well, how do I win the next one? Yeah. Okay, well, how do I win the next one? Yeah. Okay, well, how do we create a dynasty? Okay, now how do we create legacy? Like that's what I'm going towards.
Yeah, and I feel like because the landscape of business today, everybody wants to get into business. That the standards are way low. So all the people that really want to win and are hustling and behind what they do, they're just like surpassing.
Oh yeah,
majority of the people.
Well, I mean, all that stuff never fails. Like everything comes to light. Whatever type of business owner you're going to be, or why you're doing what you're doing, you know, you're going to figure it out. Like my advice is don't chase money, because you could tell the people that are just chasing money and they're not trying to actually build something. They're just trying to just cash, pay me, swipe. Like that's all they care about.
How important was money for you before opening up your place?
Money has always been important to me. And I think after losing all my money that I had and being broke, I think it became like an importance, like I have to learn money. Like I have to actually learn how money works and learn how investing works and learn how, you know, prioritizing certain things and putting things away, like to the point where it's like, okay, like now I don't have to focus on it so much. Now I focus on more of like customer service and stuff like that.
How did you raise $120,000 after you went broke?
So when I came back here, I started personal training again, and I worked my ass off. I went back to the same place that I was at, and I had a few clients. I started with nothing. I took the marketing stuff that I learned, put that together. No one really in 2018 was really marketing the way that I was marketing, you know, and getting clients. And I built a huge clientele base, and I literally put 80% of my income away every month. I lived as if I was broke.
How long did it take you?
It took me from December of 2018 until I signed the lease in May of 2020. So a little over a year. Yeah.
Wow.
Don't think this is an investigation.
No. Everything's claimed.
It's just that it's just that we believe that it's great information for the people watching.
Yeah, for sure.
Because a lot of people say open a business here, open a business there, but how are you going to fund it? Or if you have investors or everything that we talked about.
Yeah, like if I would have if I would have had investors, I would have had to give 8% of the money. Like, and that's an average. It probably could have been more. So for me, I was like, why am I going to give money, my hard-earned money that I'm earning in my business to somebody else so they can just fund it and open it for me? I was like, no. Like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah.
And you opened during COVID, right?
Yeah.
What
yeah,
made
that
you
was
think?
fun.
This is a good time to open.
So the gym that I was at that we were training at, which is here in Naples, they closed during COVID. And so I actually had I had a garage gym in my St. Croix apartments. So in the St. Croix apartments, I had a garage gym. It was already set up, and we needed a place to train. Like, everything else closed down, and I said, "Nah, I'm going to open it," and that was it. We had a 200. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they let me, but I did. It was a 250 square foot garage, and that was the first CTP. And after that, I was like, yeah, I have. The funding was almost there, and then I'm like, I was actually gaining clients during COVID because it was the only place that was open and actually training, and I had the balls enough to post about it and say, hey, I'm open. Like, I'm not going to let this affect me. I know physical fitness, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but if you want to come and work out, I'm open. We don't need to talk about the other stuff. If you want to be here to work out, I'm open.
And it was in person.
That was in person. Oh yeah, that was in person. So they were driving into the St. Croix apartments during like March of April of lockdowns to come and work out with me.
That's great.
I was training all our professional athletes in there. That's how I gained all of our college athletes that we have now. Because
I think some businesses were good during COVID because since everything was closed, they were like, okay, what's open? What do we do?
Yeah, and that was it. And also too, we were in Florida, where like we were open at the end of the day. Like, we were still open. Like, people were still going outside and doing things. So it's like you said, everyone was just like, okay, what businesses are open? Where can I go? I ended up getting a huge, which spiked me to be able to like go all in and and finalize all the money that I needed, and then we signed in May.
And to put 80% of what you're making away.
Bro, it was. I mean, I didn't go out for a year.
That's a lot.
I didn't buy clothes. I didn't buy anything for myself.
You were living with your dad.
And I was living with my dad. I was
charging you rent?
No. I worked enough for him for free to where he owns a used car dealership, and I would do detailing every summer. I've done enough of those in my time that he could spot me for a little bit.
No, but even that, and still putting 80% away.
Oh, it's a lot.
That's a lot of discipline.
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
being young.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All your friends calling you to go out.
So the cool thing was like all of my friends understood where I was at, and so it was kind of like the reverse. Like, they were all trying to get into doing business stuff and doing all that. So we would do like business seminars on the weekend, and just kind of three of us, come together. And I mean, a lot of good things came out of all that too. So I think my friends and who you surround yourself with is huge, because they were never like, yo, let's go out. They know it's okay. Anthony's trying to open up a gym. Like, all right, let's have a Saturday study sesh or something like that. So
cool, man.
It's just being around people who, and honestly, it was my best friend, Brett Reynolds. He works at Athletica. We started at LA Fitness together. So he saw we went to high school together, and he saw my whole journey, and he knew what time it was. So
Brett Reynolds?
Yeah, Brett Reynolds. He's he's the personal training director over at Athletica. Yeah, he runs it all for them.
Okay.
Yep.
Did your brother help fund anything when you started your business, or it was just?
So he was in school. So he was still in school. He had his, his loans and everything. When I opened up the office, I did that myself.
You did everything.
Yeah, I did everything myself. And then, all my trainers are contractors, so they give me a certain percentage or a flat rate every month. So in return, he paid for that. So kind of all worked out.
Yeah. And you guys operate under, it's two entities, right?
Yep. Yeah. So it's two entities. So I'm CTP, and then Coach Tumbarello Performance, and he's Mile Reset Physical Therapy. Yep.
Smart.
Yep.
Yeah. And all my trainers are independent contractors.
Yeah.
So they all will, give me a flat rate, a flat fee, percentage, or a flat rate, whatever we can agree to. And they're their own contractors. So
how many trainers do you have?
So there's 5 trainers and a physical therapist. Yep.
Damn, man, you're growing quick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And we're only in 2,000 square feet. I'm telling you, we use all of that 2,000 square feet.
What's it look like for you? Like, what do you envision the next 5 years for CTP?
We'll have a building in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be where we are for 3 years. And then after that, we're looking to have our own building and, be able to do some of the vision and stuff that we want to do. So
Are you keeping it the same model? Because as you scale, sometimes you have to tweak the model. We're
going to add more value services that we can't provide right now.
Okay.
So we'll still, for me in my business, I don't believe of scaling as far as like our training stuff. Like I will never have an open gym. I won't have like the Globo gym style stuff. Like that's just not going to be like, we're not going to have that LA Fitness feel. We never will. We'll always prioritize our training. So I'll always do personal training. Will always be our main feed. We'll just be able to have more trainers and be able to do it at more scale.
Mm-hmm. Is it kind of like what Athletica's doing?
So they're like a big box gym. So they're almost like an LA Fitness. They do personal training too, like all the other gyms do.
Yeah.
But ours is just going to be by appointment only, unless you come into an adult performance training class that we have.
Yeah.
And even those are limited. I only keep those at 6. Like we won't do more than 6 people in a class
For group
for group classes. Just because, and even when we scale, we won't do that. Because it takes away from the training.
Yeah.
Anything that's one coach, anything that's more than 6, 7 people, now you're just like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, might as well just say we're Orange Theory and put a belt around you. Yeah. Which that's what we're trying. We're not that.
Right.
What's your demographic? Is it mostly men?
No, we have a good split ratio of men and women. Yeah. We have a lot of young professionals. We are more of, you know, if you're a young professional or a high performing person, you want to come and train with us because you know what we bring to the table. You know the type of training that you're going to get. It's going to be next level, top level, elite stuff. You know, we're going to fix the problems that you have. You know, we're going to help you accomplish your goals. We're going to do things the right way. We're not just going to do cookie cutter stuff. And so that's where we've been able to build most of our clientele in that young professional range.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Ton of business owners. The conversations that I have are crazy. Oh yeah. Yeah. Super successful business owners, super successful people in the area. It's awesome.
All right, bro, you sold me. I'm going.
I mean, that's it, man. Like there are times like you'll pull into our place and there's, you know, a couple Range Rovers, some Aston Martins, G Wagons, S550s.
And he has the meals. So.
Yeah.
You get the meal.
Yeah. Like it's great. It's crazy. Like I'll get messages all the time from the people that are in our building. And they're just like, what do you guys do? Like, it's like your parking lot's like a garage out here. I was like, yeah, that's the goal, man. That's the goal.
Is there ever, I feel like 3 years, congrats, man. Cause that's very early in a business. And I feel like you guys are killing it.
We've been profitable since day one.
Fuck, that's amazing, bro.
Yeah, we've been profitable since day one.
Because there's some.
We'll hit $1 million at the end of this year.
Nice, man.
Yeah, we'll hit $1 million in sales in our 3 years that we've been there.
Nice.
At the end in December.
Nice, bro. On the edits, put like some fucking something.
Some sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
Yeah, it's been amazing. But I just think it all comes down to hard work.
How's it feel?
That's what I need to learn is how to appreciate it. Because I'm always thinking next. I'm thinking, okay, like that was great. Like, cool. Like, check that off the list.
Next.
Okay, what's next? How do we scale? Okay, we did $1 million. How do we do 2?
Yeah.
Okay, now how do we do 4? Now how do we do, and how do we keep growing and how do we keep doing it? And then also for me, it's how do we keep building our professional athlete base? How do we get our NFL combine season and NFL off season huge and have people really coming down here every single year to come down and train and be a part of what we're doing?
Yeah.
That's our biggest goals. But it feels good. Hard work pays off.
It's crazy because sometimes like you think that you want to get to X amount of dollars or whatever the goal is, and then you get there and you think that it should feel a certain way, but sometimes like
you always want more.
Yeah, you kind of just have to have to remind yourself to feel like
and that's what it is. You kind of have to say like, wow, like you just hit a milestone, something that you were writing down 3 years ago. You just brought it to light. Like now it's real.
Yeah.
Celebrate the wins.
Yeah, celebrate the wins.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do more of. Celebrate the wins.
It's so easy, man, to like just keep pushing and you don't feel like you think that you would feel this crazy way, but you don't. You just kind of have to remind yourself like, oh damn. And we talk about that a lot.
Yeah, I mean even for me like the personal goals that I had of training NFL athletes, like I started with wanting to train professional athletes, and I went 3 years without training any professional athletes. And then, I opened my gym and I was like, man, I hope that, I get 1 or 2. And, we've already had over 25 NFL guys come through our gym and train with us.
Wow.
Yeah. I've had one of our guys live in the gym.
Really?
Yeah, he pulled up in the bus. Dead ass. He pulled up in a bus and slept, and lived in our gym.
That's
he
crazy.
slept in the bus and went to the bathroom in the gym and hung out. He was there all day. I'd get there on a Sunday. He's like chilling. What's up, bro?
How long?
He was there for a whole month.
Wow.
For the NFL offseason before they get ready to go into training camp.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's
It's
really
awesome.
cool. Are you the only place down here, like, or one of the few places that is doing what you're doing with like NFL athletes?
No, there are a few others.
There's a few?
Yeah, there's a few others that try to do it. I don't think they're doing it at the scale and at the level that we're doing it. Just because of everything that we bring to the table with physical therapy and the knowledge that we have and kind of just the basis of what we've been, the results that we've been able, we all have data, and I know what we've been able to accomplish in the last 3 years, and my clients know that as well, and my athletes know that as well. So that's what kind of separates us, is the results that we get.
What do you think about networking?
I love networking. I think that's the best way to do it. I figured this was a great, opportunity to network. I'm always any type of things that I can do. That's my next. It's funny that you said that, because that's my next transition, is now to be able to go out in the community more and network. Yeah. For the last 3 years, I've been in the business, like grinding in the business. Now it's time I work on the business as far as networking, making connections. Making sure my goal is that everybody that says, hey, what do you do? What gym is it? CTP. They go, oh, I know that gym. Mm-hmm. Right now we get a lot of people like, oh, what is that? I've never heard of that. Or, oh, I've heard of that. But I want every single person that we meet to say, okay, I know what that gym is. I know what they do, and I know how they do it.
Yeah.
So that's how, the only way to do that is networking, is being out in the community, going to events, putting your name out there and just making sure that you're doing things the right way.
Right.
100%. And I think that accelerates the process of growing too,
Yeah, of course.
Like my father-in-law, because we were in the food industry for like 10 years. Mm-hmm. And then, but we were in marketing for many years as well. And when we transitioned full-time to marketing, my father-in-law, he's like, so how do you guys do it? How do you guys get so many clients in like a really short amount of time? But we're always connecting with people, we're always talking to people. There's that's how you grow opportunities. Like he's I think on the phone the whole day. So so that's the way. I mean, there's no secret sauce.
No, and I think still the secret's in the cold calls, except now instead of calling, you can hit somebody up on Instagram that you think is going to be a good network, and that's it. I mean, that's the new cold calling.
Amazing tools, bro.
Yeah, amazing tools that people need to use to their advantage. People use it for bad. You can use it for a lot of good.
Yeah. How important is social media for you guys?
It's 98% of our business. It's 98% of our social presence of what we're able to do and why we're able to get all the NFL athletes. I have to follow the trends. High school kids and college kids, the first thing, they don't even ask for my number. They don't even ask what we do. What's your IG? Or, hey, you got to go train with this coach. I know him down there in Naples, yada, yada, yada. You're going to want to go down there. What's his IG? Yeah. That's it. That's the first thing. Even for me, especially now coming up to this time of year, I'll be talking to college athletes and trying to get them to come down to train with us for combine season. And the first thing is, what's your Instagram? What's your Instagram? What's your Instagram? So it's hugely important. Hugely important.
Man, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, and I think some of the stuff you like Facebook, I don't need to have that. Even TikTok, I did the TikTok thing. It wasn't good for my business, so I stopped doing it. Yeah. And I just doubled down on what works for my business. And that's Instagram. Yeah. That was it.
No, I love that. Yeah. And what motivates you every day to keep going?
The goals that I have, knowing where I've been, knowing that, I have a vision of where I want to get, and I'm not there yet. So I think once I get to that vision, and once I get to the ultimate goals that I have, then maybe things will slow down. But right now I wake up every day and I just know where I'm going. Yeah. There's a clear cut path of what I want to do, and there's only one way to get there, and that's work and grind and make sure every day is a success towards that goal.
Right. Do you have a timeline for yourself?
No, I don't. I used to have a timeline, and it gave me anxiety every day. I don't have a timeline. I think I in the beginning I did all the time, I need to get things done by this. It has to be done. No. Yeah. No, I have, how can I get better today? What's in front of me? Maybe, I'll always have goals for the next 3 months of what we want to accomplish or accomplish things that I know are coming in January and stuff. But I don't have a timeline on myself. Yeah.
But I think you said it best. Enjoy the process.
Yeah, that's one thing I needed to learn is just enjoy it. Have fun with it. A lot of
business owners don't.
No, and then they're miserable. Yeah. And then they burn out. Yeah. It's not burnout. You just don't enjoy it anymore because you didn't enjoy it when it was during the process. Right. Got to enjoy what you're doing. You have to appreciate what you have. You have to appreciate where you've come from to be able to have a business like this. I mean, it's not easy opening up a business. No. I don't care how much money you're doing. If you're in a profitable and you like going there every day, you've made a huge accomplishment. You should celebrate that.
Yeah, we were talking about this like feeling privileged?
Oh yeah. I just feel like I try to look at a lot of things like it's a privilege. You know what I mean? To not a right.
Yeah. Oh
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like just because you open a business, like you've got the privilege to open a business.
Yeah.
And on top of that, even the privilege to struggle during that.
Yeah,
That,
for sure.
that part of the business. So I just like to look at it like that, and I feel like
We're not entitled to anything.
exactly, man.
And that's it. I mean, we're in an entitlement era of just
100%.
life. Everyone thinks they're entitled to something. Everyone thinks they deserve, over $100,000 a year, and just show up and say, "Hi, my name is so and so."
Yeah, like everybody wants to be rich, like that, and they're like
Yeah.
So-
Everyone thinks it's like a fast process, and I'm like, I thought so too at one point. I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna get it this, and then I'm like, ooh, no,
Yeah.
that's not how this works.
right.
It is a long, grueling process, and you just have to keep chugging away every single day at what you're doing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree. That 1,000% with that.
Yeah, like I'll have personal trainers coming in that have zero experience that want to make $100 an hour. Okay, well, why is someone going to pay you $100 an hour? Like, and they're just like, well, I got my certification, I studied, and now I'm ready to go. I'm like, okay, how many clients have you trained? 0. Okay. How many internships do you have? 1. Okay. Like, but what makes you, $100 an hour? And they can't give me an answer besides just showing up and saying, okay, I'm going to put you through this workout, and it may not be the best workout, but this is what I'm worth.
You've had those conversations with?
Oh, I've had numerous conversations because we're always hiring and we're always trying to bring people in. And, the expectation is like, I will start you at a certain rate. Like, I believe a personal trainer just starting out, no experience, is a $60, $70 an hour deal for our gym. And then, but to come in and asking for $100, like that gives me an entitled mentality already. And I'm like, yeah, we're not going to work out.
Yeah.
Because I've had to work for every single thing that I have. I mean, I just shouldn't show up into this beautiful space and say, here I am.
Right.
Like that doesn't work like that.
And these trainers, they have to bring in their clients.
So it's both. It's both.
A mix. Okay.
Yeah, we do a really good job of bringing in our own clients. We have waves and valleys of that, and the peaks and valleys of bringing people in and marketing, and when people are going to come in, there's slow seasons and stuff. But
yeah,
for the most part, we bring people in, and our trainers do a really good job of word of mouth. Like if you come and train with us, most likely you're telling your friends about it, and you're telling other people about it, and that's how we've been able to grow.
Right.
Between physical therapy and personal training, I think to date we're at like 120 something clients that we brought in this year from January.
Wow. Nice, man.
Yeah.
I was reading something the other day that it's not like when you go try to get a job, it's not about you asking for a job anymore. It's more, what are you gonna bring with you to that job? Like,
what value do you
How
provide?
much are you gonna make?
Yeah,
us,
literally.
Yeah. What value do you provide? Like,
if you're not adding on, like if you're not adding to the company, you're subtracting. Then why are you even? Why are you even at the company?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, especially a small business.
Yeah, everything's based on value.
Yeah.
Everything's based on value, and experience has value.
Yeah.
So if you have experience and you're going to bring it, and you're going to be a huge addition to our team, we'll bring you on, and you'll make what our other trainers make, which is a lot more than anyone else in this area, and I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
So,
and I feel like there's so much opportunity with businesses like yours and just a bunch of businesses in the area where they're in the early stage where if you're somebody that brings good value, opportunities and doors will open within that same company down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always looking like the guys that I have now, like I have my guy Kennedy, that he's been with me since we opened. I value him as far as, when we scale, he scales. When we grow, he grows. Like, if we go and make moves, like there will definitely be opportunities for him to have, ownership in our company, at some point when we get there.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking for people that are going to be dedicated to the brand, dedicated to training, dedicated to what our vision is and what we're doing. And if those people fit that mold, I have no problem bringing people along with me.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
Are you, anything that I feel like it's like you've been at this for how long now? In general,
I've been personal training since 2011. So that would be 12 years.
So 12 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you definitely have grown faster than most personal trainers, right?
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so.
From where you're at right now.
From making $6 a client to making what we're making now. Yeah, big jump financially.
Do you think the thing that separates you from let's say the majority was it making that leap, or is it just a bunch of other things? Like
it's inside me. It's inside me, bro. Yeah. It's inside me. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to business and things that I want, like I'm an animal. Like I'm not going to stop until we get it.
Yeah.
So that it's the continuous drive, and even when I was down and out, I was still like, okay, well, how do I fight back out? I put myself against the wall. Okay, how do I get out of this? And then how do I get out of this and learn from this and never do it again?
Yeah.
But again, it's just that constant. I'm hungry every day to get better. I'm hungry every day to be the best.
Right.
Like it's a desire that I have every single day.
No, and just when you said like you were paying for that internship.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I think it just says a lot, man. I think a lot of people are not doing that today.
Yeah. I mean, I just think people just aren't obsessed with what they do.
Yeah.
Like they don't eat, sleep, and drink it. Like I envision everything that I do is CTP and our brand, and then my training and how I can be the best trainer, and I'm absolutely obsessed. Yeah. Like and I think that's the difference is how obsessed somebody is and how far are they willing to go and how long are they willing to consistently do it, and then obviously you come out on the other side of that.
Yeah. No, man, I agree. We come from the food industry, and we were freaking in the food industry. Like you're in there every day.
Yeah.
Every hour. You're working super hard.
Oh yeah.
And
if you're not absolutely obsessed with that, you won't be successable.
Yeah.
You just can't. You can't.
But the reason why
in anything you want to do.
And then freaking we come into this space and like there's people like, oh yeah, no, we don't work those days. We don't work on the weekends. We'll get the content to you like another day.
Yeah.
It's just like
those people will never make it. Yeah. Never make it. They'll never make it. They'll have short little successes, but long term it won't last.
Yeah, that's why they don't scale.
No, they can't scale. Bro, you can't scale. They're in a if someone asked me, hey Anthony, I need you to come in on a Saturday and I'm not traveling or I'm not doing anything, I'm going in. If they need me on a Sunday, I'm going in. Like, do I want to do it? No. Do I have to do it? And will I do it? Absolutely. And I will do it to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
But like, you have to make those sacrifices in order to that's discipline. That's just being obsessed with just getting better.
Right. I agree. Any questions from you guys? You guys over here? Nothing?
No, I like the story. And congrats on them.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No, man. It's probably one of my favorite interviews by far, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Cool story. Anything that you want to leave off with, like any piece of advice or just anything in general?
Just be obsessed. Like, be obsessed with business. Be obsessed. If you're going to do something and you're going to attach your name to it, be absolutely obsessed with it. Because if you're not going to win. You won't win. You won't hit your goals. You won't do anything. If you're not like you guys are absolutely obsessed with what you're doing here. That's why you guys are going to scale and have success, right? You have to be obsessed. If you're not obsessed, you're not going to get it.
Right.
And if you just have to work harder than everybody else. Mm-hmm. You have to work harder than everybody else. Like that's why like our motto that we have on the wall, we grind different. That's just not graffiti on the wall. Like we live it.
Yeah.
We live it.
Love it, man. Well, Anthony, thank you so much, man, for your time.
I appreciate being here, man. This was awesome. Thank you, guys. This is sick.